When is it worth making something yourself instead of buying it in a store? For me, it's when I'm saving money, creating a reusable product, or making something that's as good or even better than what's offered in a store. So in this speech, I will be showing you how to do that by demonstrating how to make a Texas rig Senko, which is a reusable fishing lure that can catch a wide variety of fish. The most important things you need to know before making your own Texas rig Senko are the materials you'll be using, the process of how to make it, and how to use it. But even if you've never picked up a rod before, you can still find this speech very beneficial because it teaches you how you can make a simple, inexpensive item at home instead of purchasing it in a store. I personally created this rig many times, but just to make sure, I went on baits.com to watch a few interviews with pro fishermen and see with a 5-inch Senko what size hook and how they make their rigs, just to make sure I was doing everything right, as well as watch a few videos from Just the Lip Fishing and Envy Fishing on YouTube. So by the end of this speech, you will be able to make your own Texas rig Senko and have learned how a simple, inexpensive item can be made at home. The first thing I mentioned was the materials you'll be needing. First off, you'll need your worm, which is a 5-inch Senko, very versatile and doesn't target a certain size of fish or species of fish as the worms that are bigger or smaller would. Next is your hook, EWG hook, which is very easy to tell by this little L shape. You'll find it very easy to find. And it's a 3/0, which is 3/0 on the packaging. There's 3, 4, and 5, all recommended by the pro fisherman, but I go with 3/0 because it stays very hidden when you have your rig made. The EWG hook also makes the worm look the most natural, which is the thing you want out of this rig, so it beats out any other hook that you can use. Next is the bullet weight, shaped like a cone. It will cover the eye of the hook nicely and give a nice finish tip to the worm and your fishing line. Any fishing line will do. The next thing I mentioned was how to make the Senko, so we'll move on to that. You grab your hook and your worm. You just feed the hook right through the top of the fatter end of the worm until you reach the curve, just like this, and then you'll bring it out just like that and slide it all the way up to the eye of the hook, just like so. It's all the way up to the eye, and then you'll want to push this at your hook until you reach a natural meeting point between your worm and the tip of the hook, which then you'll slide your worm through, creating a very natural, not bunched up, not curved, very straight, natural look for the worm. That's why the EWG hook is so good. Next, you will take your line and bullet weight. You will feed the line through the top of the bullet weight. Can be tedious sometimes, and you'll slide it down, giving yourself plenty of line to tie your knot, which is the next step. Take your rig, feed the knot through the eye of the hook, and you don't need a special knot here. You'll make a loop and feed your end through just like you would a regular knot, as everybody knows how to tie. But instead of stopping there, you'll feed it through that loop 2 more times, just to make sure that your knot doesn't come undone at any point, because it sucks losing your lure. I know how it feels. Then you will come to this, you'll have this extra line. You can just cut it off. Don't cut it all off because you don't want your not coming undone. Just leave a hair left over so that way it's not hanging out. At this point, you can slide that weight back down that you slid up, and it'll come down, making this lure. Now, that is the Senko completely made, nice and easy. So we'll move on to our last step, how to use it. So, fast forward to when you're out, actually just about to cast out. So you cast your lure out, and you let it sink for 5 to 10 seconds just so it gets down to where the fish are actually swimming and can see this. So when you actually want to start fishing it, you have your rod right, and you let it sink for your 5 to 10 seconds, then you reel once to set your line so it doesn't keep reeling out deep and going deeper and deeper in the water. So at this point, you'll tug like this with your whole entire rod. You'll see the tip of the rod come up about 6 inches. That's when you know you've tugged far enough. It's just a nice light tug. Then you drop it back down to where it was before you tugged, and you reel in about twice, and it'll create this nice swimming motion like that for the worm. So you just tug, and you go down, reel in, tug, go down, reel in. Just keep repeating that, and eventually you will catch a fish. Now that you know how to create your own Texas rig Senko, you can confidently tag along on a fishing trip and catch as many fish as your heart desires. And I'm sure that you can recall from this speech the 3 major steps to create your own Senko are the materials you'll need, how to create the Senko, and how to use the Senko. So, if you ever decide to go fishing, remember this demonstration so you can catch as many fish as your heart desires.